Maria, I have another question to ask, if I may. So if we are here in your home and you have some kind of a major medical event, like your heart stops beating and you stop breathing, meaning you've died, what would you want us to do? Would you want us to do CPR and full resuscitation, or would you want us to just allow that natural death to continue to occur?
I am at the point where I would like to have a natural death. I'm really glad we're talking about this. Yeah, I don't want to end up back in the hospital. I don't want CPR.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad we talked about it. It was such an important question because unless we know that, we can't respect your wishes.
Yeah.
Because CPR will happen if we don't have something written down.
Yeah.
Do you by any chance have a POLST form? It's a form with pink around the edges.
No,
Is the doctor
I don't know what that is. No.
Okay.
What is that?
Well, it is something called Physician's Orders for Life-Sustaining Treatment. And it's not something we have time to go over right now, but let me put it on your care plan so that we can address that at the our next visit.
Yeah.
And I just also want to let you know another thing that is available is called a connections consult.
Okay.
So we have some fantastic nurse practitioners in our connections program, and they can actually give you a call and talk over the phone or with a telehealth video conference call and hear what your thinking is and go over all of your perspective, and then get that on that POLST form and get that all signed and sent to your doctor, and also send a copy to you.
Yeah, I really like that.
Okay, yeah. I'll give them a call and you can expect them to come.
Okay, thanks.
And get a call from them, okay?
Okay, good.
I'm glad we brought this up.
Me too.
Maria, I have another question for you. As part of our admissions process, we ask our patients what they would like us to do in the event of a major medical emergency. Like say we're here with you and your heart stops beating and you stop breathing, which means you've died. Would you want us to do CPR and send you to the hospital, full resuscitation, or do you want natural death to continue?
I think I talked to my doctor about this. There's a form. Yeah, something.
Did you fill out a POLST form with your doctor?
I did something with my doctor.
Okay, it's like a pink form, it's got pink around the edges.
I have a magnet.
Oh, you do?
I think it's in the fridge.
Okay, we'll go look and see. Okay.
But I don't know,
Don't know what it is?
I don't really remember. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't have time. I'll put it down on your care plan so that we can address it more thoroughly at another visit and figure out what that is and make sure that that reflects what your wishes are now.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot today.
Oh, I know. It's a long visit.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it more at another.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Maria, as part of the admissions process, we would like to know what you would like us to do if you have a major medical event while we're here. Like your heart stops beating and you stop breathing, meaning you've died. Would you want us to do CPR or allow natural death?
Great question. Karen, do you know that I have a POLST form?
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I actually have a copy right here. I thought you might want to see it.
Thank you. Oh, that's really helpful.
I definitely don't want CPR. I don't want CPR. My disease is very advanced and I'm ready.
Okay.
I've talked with my doctor and my family about it.
Oh, good. You've done some good thinking on it. I can see and done everything. I see your POLST. Let me just review it with you.
Yeah,
okay. It says, do not attempt resuscitation. And then if you're still alive and you have a pulse or breathing, then you want us to do limited treatment and send you to the hospital for some basic medical treatments.
But I don't want to be intubated and end up on life support.
Well, this is just what is needed. I will put this down in your medical record in our chart so that every clinician that comes would know that this is what your wishes are.
All right, thank you.
Maria, as part of our admissions process, we like to ask an important question, if I may. So if we're in your home and you have some kind of a major medical event, like your heart has stopped beating and you've stopped breathing, which means you've died, what would you want us to do? Would you want us to do CPR, full resuscitation, or allow natural death to happen?
Wow, Karen, that's a lot to think about.
It's a big question.
It is a big question. It's important though. I think I'd like to have some more time to think about it and talk to my family. So can we talk about it more?
Sure. I'll put it on your care plan.
Yeah.
And we can address it at other visits. And I also want you to know about a service that we have available. It's called the Connections Program. And we can have a nurse practitioner who's great at talking with people about just talking through all the issues that are involved with this kind of a big decision. And they can talk with you over the phone or through a teleconference, televideo visit. And you can get all your questions answered. And then that Connections nurse practitioner will be able to put down in a form what your wishes are so that it can be shared with any medical person in the future. So that decision will be made then.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good plan. Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
So Maria, during our admission process, we need to ask a question, and that is if there's a major medical event that your heart stops beating and you stop breathing and you have died, are you wanting CPR or are you wanting to have a natural death?
Oh, I definitely want CPR.
Okay.
Yeah, put me down for CPR.
Okay.
Please.
So we'll put you down as a full code and that you want 911 to be called and taken to the hospital.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for making that clear. As we need to know for all clinicians coming into the home what your wishes are.
Okay, 100% CPR.
Okay.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks. So Clark, I know that you ran into a difficult situation when you were on a supervisory visit with a physical therapist. Can you talk to us about it?
Sure. As Colleen said, it was a supervisory visit, and this was a patient known to the therapist, and the patient would often leave the front door open, and it was common practice to knock and walk in. As we followed that practice, we walked into the home, and it was dark and a little dimly lit, and the patient was lying down on the couch. We announced ourselves and began to start the normal questioning that would go on with the beginning of a visit, and at that point the patient wasn't responding. From my vantage point, I then indicated to the therapist that something didn't seem right and we needed to be a little more intentional and check on the patient, and upon doing so, the therapist found that the patient was unresponsive. We then both switched into that urgent crisis mode, and thankfully we were able to work together, and he was able to unlock his computer for me, and I was able to help direct him through some of the steps to take while looking for the code status and POLST information in the chart. Unfortunately, it was difficult to find, and where we would normally find it under the flag section, there was no information. The therapist was able to stop and use some great critical thinking skills and actually looked at the patient's refrigerator, where we were able to find a full POLST form within an envelope magnetized to the front of the refrigerator, where we were able to find that the patient was a DNR status, and that helped direct us how to act accordingly. As we were debriefing outside after the event, we both agreed that having the patient's code status and POLST information much easier to find somewhere like in the direction section, rather than having to scroll and try and find under the patient's flag, would have been much more beneficial, and we would have been able to put down the computer and act quicker and transition into the next stages of care. And that would have allowed us to not have to think through some things that in that critical situation, having that information directly at the top where it was be easily and readily able to find.